I think we've probably covered this already, but for those who don't know, I am Jess's brother. I am your MC and your voice in the sky for the day. And I think the main reason that they allowed me to do this was because I would be less drunk for as long as possible. But here we are, a full 4 years after Rory popped the question, because a full 4 years after Rory popped the question, because Jess is so easygoing. But here we are, 5 minutes from Mum and Dad's house, because then she got to bring the dogs. So she got what she wanted. It just took nearly half a decade to do it. On that topic, as discussed, don't feed the dogs, pain of death, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, it's now time for a few words from the father of the bride, the inimitable Mr. Steve Tetley.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, before I actually start my speech,
There we go.
I would like to say that I didn't dress myself today.
No.
The shirt, shorts, and the waistcoat and the shoes my wife bought, and the jacket. Guess who?
I did well.
Anyway, sorry. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. And as you know, I'm Steve.
It's all right. I'm going to hold it for him. It's all right. We're going to go. We're going to go.
As you've been told, I'm the father of the bride, and somewhat emotional, as you can imagine. But welcome all here, and we very much appreciate quite a lot of you have travelled a fair way to get here. And as Ingrid mentioned, Isabel came from Dubai and Claire from South Africa, so great for them. Thank you very much. The couple of people I've got to mention are my sister, who unfortunately passed away last summer unexpectedly, and my mother-in-law, who in her 90s, unfortunately, is housebound, but she's still got all her marbles, and her wit and repartee are legendary.
Yeah, they are.
I thought it was brilliant seeing the dogs walk down the aisle as bridesmaids.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't have to buy them a frock either. So
no makeup, no hair. All good, all good.
So, obviously, walking the baby down the aisle today was a bit special. And I'm glad I didn't have mascara on, because I'd have bloody black rivers down my cheeks. But turned out absolutely stunning, as you can see. One thing about walking her down today, and when she was actually born, the midwife said that Owen and I were the two most disappointed people she'd ever seen.
It's true.
And because when we walked into the delivery room, they said, "You've got a beautiful baby girl." Well, we'd been told 4 months prior that we were having a lovely, gorgeous son. So Owen, of course, is thinking, "Where's my brother?" And I'm thinking, bloody hell, what? No. And I'd also spent about a week painting the nursery blue, so that went down well as well. So anyway, once she came out, obviously we cheered up a bit, because she turned out to be an absolutely beautiful little baby who, as soon as we got her home, slept, whereas her brother was 3 before we got a night's sleep. And the wife and I used to take turns in staying up, not, alternate nights to look after them. Right.
Where are you then?
Yeah, it was. When she came home, we had living nannies for the first few years, because Terry was sort of climbing the ladder to being a professor and I was running my business. But weekends and evenings was absolutely fantastic, and she was a little vision of delight.
Oh.
And even Owen was warmed to her by that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think so. He hasn't warmed even yet, you know?
Yeah.
After 34 years, it's all right.
But anyway, the baby was walking at about 1, and then it took her another 6 months before she started speaking, which actually was the same as my wife. But obviously in the last in the last few years, they've obviously made up for it a great deal. And when Jess played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz,
Oh, God.
she had lived for about an hour and a half because she couldn't remember a word. So it was brilliant. When she started school, it was pretty difficult for her because it turns out she was dyslexic. Then we find out that she couldn't see the blackboard because of the problem with her eyes. And then we also found out that she couldn't hear what the teachers were saying because her ears were bad.
Yeah.
But
It wasn't
anyway,
good. It wasn't good.
Specs and 3 lots of grommets. And she actually turned out all right. And, all the teachers eventually realised that she wasn't dim. She just couldn't see anything or hear anything.
It's true.
And
you don't have to feel sorry for me. I've made up for it. It's fine. Don't feel sorry for me. It's fine.
When she went off to Hinchley Wood, she obviously got into acting and singing. And so we decided that we'd put our hands in our pockets and send her off to board at Epsom College, where she'd got a music scholarship, where she met Lauren and where she met Lauren and lots of other friends who are here. One thing about sort of posh school and loads of dosh, the food was rubbish. And when we used to go there some evenings, her and Lauren had got illicit pizzas being delivered to keep them going, which was a joke.
It was.
And then the other thing was, obviously, it didn't do much to temper her bad language either.
No, it didn't. It didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But one thing about that, apart from a bad language, it's good. Unlike a brother who was into drugs, drinking, and we also had.
Owen. He's amazing. Yeah, man.
And also we had the odd visit from Metropolitan Police as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, come on, Dad.
Anyway, having got her A-levels, Jess got into Goldsmiths College to do music, but the student life didn't fit, did it?
No.
Nor the commute.
I did 24 hours. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So anyway, working through her 20s, and then when she got to 30, we decided that she'd move into the family business with me. And so she was my chauffeur and PA.
I was.
Which was fantastic because my blood pressure used to go through the roof when I was driving.
Yeah.
And probably had a heart attack before long. And the other thing was that the company we sold to eventually were pretty sort of high on computers and all the rest of it, which to me was, foreign. So,
pencil and paper, guys. Pencil and paper. just to give you an idea. Yeah.
So anyway, Jess, with all her computer knowledge and stuff, sorted everything out for me, because otherwise I would definitely have fallen out with the finance director of the company that bought us out. So, best thing we ever did. Wasn't it?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
But
we got through.
The thing is, she spent 3 years working with me, and then in her 20s, she was at GenMed and Kurt Geiger, and all this knowledge she picked up is working really well in her new business, which is going through the roof at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Boss lady.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about my daughter. I've now got to welcome the groom.
Oh.
But
where is that?
Unfortunately, it's about 8 years too late because. Yeah.
Bye.
As you've probably heard, when Kath and John moved down to Exeter, he was left homeless. Oh. And so
he did all right, guys. Don't, honestly.
So Jess, of course, wandered in and said, Mum, Dad, do you mind if Rory moves in for a couple of weeks? So I'm thinking, I'll charge him a bit of bed and breakfast, something like that. So I thought, a bit of an opportunity. Anyway, 3 years later, he's still there. But actually, I've got to say, during that time, he was fantastic.
Oh, Rory.
Well, and we really got to know him, and he was fantastic for the baby.
Yeah.
And it was, it was just good fun living together, wasn't it?
He brought all the music, didn't he?
He did.
Many nights raving to his piano and his guitar.
And
Yeah.
You want to see him doing it while he's handling bags?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah, and like I say, he looked after our daughter wonderfully, shopping, cooking, cleaning, all the usual
It's
stuff.
true. It's true.
And then we find out there's quite a coincidence between the two families. And as you heard earlier, Mum and I got married in the October 50 years ago, and John and Kathy got married about 3 months later. And then the next thing was they both knock out boys together, and both the boys are, Rory's nearly 40 and Ian's just 40. So it was a bit spooky.
Yeah.
A bit spooky.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was pretty clear from early days that he was an absolute delight, and he obviously supported all her dreams and loves her very much, which has brought all things today. But, yeah. Then he accosted me at the golf club one Friday afternoon. I thought, there we go. He wants a couple of bob. He was obviously going to try and borrow something. And he said, would I mind if he married my daughter? Oh, yes. Yeah.
He thought, fuck for that.
Yeah.
She's going to be taken away from me.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a true gentleman. True gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Mum and I quite like our music, and obviously we've been spoiled the last few years with Rory on the keyboard and his mean guitar playing, Jessie singing, and whether they're singing their covers or whether they're singing new stuff, brilliant. And they even sang some of my Barry Manilow stuff.
Oh, bit of Barry.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much it. That's I just wish the pair of you lots of love and laughter, and also that you have a beautiful life full of adventure and more music.
Yeah.
So, thank you. So, if you'd all like to raise your glasses and a toast to Jess and Rory.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. If you would like to take your seats and have some lunch.
Oh, I've gone blank now. It's great to see you all. You made such a great effort and you all look fantastic. And now the rain's come, you're all not going to disappear out into the sun. We're going to have a right old party. Now, it's unusual for the father of the groom to come up and make a speech or say a few words, but Jess said to me, Rory's such a princess, I'd love you to do a speech. I said, princess? I said, well, when we named him, we thought, Rory, it's a strong name. It's a Celtic name for Red King. So he was always royalty, but now he's gone from a king to a princess. I'm just hoping that he don't come round wearing a dress, high heels and lipstick. So, we never know. Now, Jessica, beautiful British name, beautiful, is an Anglo-Saxon name. And Jessica means you don't mess with my dogs. Now, life, as a mother of a famous person once said, is like a box of chocolates. Nathan, don't stop. Brother. We'll have that later. And people say that, but for me, it's never been a choice, because every box of chocolates I went in was always a toffee because it was hard, it was crunchy, but then you get the softness and the sweetness, just like my wife. Just like Martina and just like Jess. Us Morans, boys especially, like strong women. Which is that, you know, I couldn't have two greater daughter-in-laws ever. And a grandchild. Evie, pull my finger. Thank you. Now, Rory and Jess, I remember going round Joe's and Joe saying to me, Papa, Rory's met a wonderful, beautiful lady at Festival. But what he really said was, Dad, you should have seen the salt that Rory pulled. And when I first met her, I thought, wow, he's really punching above his weight. She is actually stunning. And then when I heard her sing, well, I just had to sit down. I was wowed. I thought, how can someone that beautiful have such a great voice? And then when I heard them sing in harmony, I knew it was made in the stars. The stars must have collided that night that they met, because the music they make is great. And what can I say? I just love them both so much. And what really put the point across to me that she was the right person was she loves her dogs. And me and Kath are so much doggy people. And, you know. Man, we ain't been dogging for a long time. Come on. Those were the days. No, only joking. Now, when you think of it, me and Kath, 50 years. Terry and Steve, 50 years. That's 100 years of marriage. You can imagine that. 100 years. And I know what you're thinking. We must have been all childhood brides and grooms. When you look at the photograph over there, we was kids. We left home and got married when we was kids. Not like today. It's like 30 and 40 people get married and leave home. I ain't going to mention no one, you know. But 100 years between us. So if anybody is having matrimonial problems or anything, come and see one of us. We can put you right. We don't charge too much. Once you get over the formal, you know, the formal interview, we're quite reasonable. So, now I'd like to thank you all for coming and supporting Rory and Jess, and thanks Terry and Steve, because they've put all the work in. Really appreciate it. What you give to my son. It's hard when we moved down to Exeter. We thought, oh, great, we got rid of him. Not really, because his mum would have them all back home tomorrow. So, you know, that's the way she is. But that's it, really. Just raise your glasses. Rory and Jess. And here's to the future Morans. Thank you.
That was very impressive, Dad, doing that off the cuff. Yeah, well done. Massive round of applause for my dad, that's amazing. So unlike my dad, I can't memorise this. I've got too much to say. And yeah. I'll try and keep it short. Don't worry, Jerry. Dinner's got to be served. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. On behalf of myself and my new beautiful wife, we want to thank you so much for coming today. It wouldn't be the same without all of you. You all mean the world to us. And I can't believe we pulled it off with only a few breakdowns, eh, babe? And only about several. Now, standing here today, married to Jess, I can't help but reflect on how we got here. And as some of you may or may not know, that story begins on the Isle of Wight at Bestival. So I arrived on the Isle of Wight with my brother Joe, Adam, Nathan, and Matty all over there. And totally unaware I was about to meet Jess, who was about to change my life forever. We pitched up our tents, and I sat down with a beer in my hand, and there she was, walking into the campsite all alone, confident, sassy, mysterious, like a mirage in the desert. She looked at all of us and she said, "Could I borrow your foot pump? I've forgotten it to pump my bed up." She'd forgotten hers. Sitting in my chair, I looked up at her, the sun shining, glistening off her skin, big, beautiful blue eyes, and a smile that dreams are made of. And I thought to myself, you can have whatever you want. So in my head, I played that moment really cool. Maybe I casually nodded and gave a charming smile. But according to Jess, reality looked a little different. Apparently, I almost fell off my chair in a desperate attempt to dive into my tent. In my frantic excitement to be our knight in shining armour, I began throwing everything out of my tent, my guitar, my fancy dress costume, my clothes, before emerging with the pump. Here you go. In hindsight, I should have said, "Let me come and pump it up for you." Right. I don't know how well that would have gone down. So from that moment, fate took over. We discovered that Jess and my brother actually worked in the same building at Heathrow Airport, and they'd seen each other before, recognised each other. Such a small world. So the rest of the weekend was a blur of lots of alcohol, dancing, and getting to know each other. And then on one unforgettable night at the campsite, I was jamming away on my guitar to a crowd of people. I was singing London Grammar Strong to a crowd of people, when suddenly Jess started to sing. Now, I thought I was doing all right, but then Nathan turned around to me and said, "Shut up, Rory, she's a professional." And he was right. He was right. When I heard her voice, I was completely in awe. It was one of those rare moments in life where time just stops and you realise something special is happening. That was the moment I knew my life would never be the same. The fact that I get to wake up every day and do life with you is my biggest achievement. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for your selfless and caring nature. And thank you for loving me unconditionally. Doing life with you is my biggest achievement. With nearly 11 years of memories behind us, I'm so excited for what our next chapter holds. Now, where's Steve and Terry? Sorry, right in front of me. Now, as my relationship grew with Jess, so did my relationship with her family. Mainly because I moved in with them, but didn't have a choice. When I first arrived at Steve and Terry's house, I was warmly welcomed, and for a while I was simply known as the lodger. I'm not sure exactly when I transitioned from random house guest to part of the family, but I like to think it was the moment when Steve realised I could cook. I remember one night Steve came back from the pub, Marnie's, and he said, "Rizzle, you know what? You're all right." And that was it. That was my seal of approval. I've been accepted. Because as you know, Steve is a man of very few words. But in all seriousness, Steve and Terry, I cannot thank you enough. You welcomed me into your home with open arms, even if you kept an eye on me at first. And over time, you made me feel like a true part of the family. Your kindness, generosity, and patience mean the world to me. I love you both so much. Honestly. They've been so supportive to us over the years. It's just incredible. And then there's Owen. Owen, I could not do the speech without mentioning you, mate. So from the start, you've been like a brother. You made me feel like family from day one. And I can honestly say that having you as a brother-in-law is one of the greatest bonuses of marrying Jess. Though let's not tell her that. I don't want her thinking you're the only reason I'm here. So, to Steve, Terry, and Owen, thank you for your love, your support, and for upgrading me to the lodger to family. I'm forever grateful for you all. So, standing here today, I feel so much gratitude, not just for the love we have found in each other, but for the incredible foundation of love that has shaped us both. We're both blessed, and as you know, you've been told before, with parents whose marriages have lasted over 50 years. In honour of our parents, Jess came up with the amazing idea to display Terry and my mum's wedding dresses here today, which have been preserving since 1974 and 1975. As we begin our journey, I hope to honour their legacy by building a life and love as remarkable and everlasting as theirs. They're not just our role models, they are our heroes. We feel deeply lucky to have their love light in the way. And then, lastly but not least, I feel incredibly fortunate to have such wonderful parents. Mum and Dad, your guidance and love has shaped me into the person I am today. I'm forever grateful for everything you've ever done for me. Thank you, and I love you both so much. I have no more words. And I also want to give a special mention to my brother, my best man, Mr. Joe Moran. I'm quite looking forward to his speech. I had the honour of being best man for Joe in September last year. And as some of you know, I tore him apart for about half an hour. He deserved it. Sorry, Joe. I won't do it again, mate. But it was all in good spirit. And I just want to say I'm really proud of you, Joe. You have a beautiful family, Martina, Layla and Evie. I'm so proud of you guys. And I'm so happy that we're all running the business together as a family. And we're all best friends. And yeah, I love you both so much. Love you all. As you all know, music is my love language. And therefore, I couldn't not share a song I've written in honour of my beautiful wife, Jess. One, two. Right, guys, this is called Best Friend. My voice feels like it's going a bit. I've been shouting and cheering. All that I have ever dreamed of, she's every single part of her I see. When she laughs and cries, I'm always here to lean on, standing by her side for eternity. When it comes down to the depths of the night, there's a darkness inside and I'm holding her tight. The demons just won't stop running through her mind. I help her remember the love that's inside. She's my friend. I call her my best friend. She's my friend. I call her my best friend. She's so sensitive and she has this massive heart. I admire her for all that she is. She's always there for me whenever I need her. A love and trust we have, I'll always hold. Know that our love is worth fighting for. I feel it so deeply, deep down in my core. We're growing together, our love's out this world. Excited for the rest of our time on this earth. She's my friend. I call her my best friend. She's my friend. I call her my best friend. She's my friend. I call her my best friend. She's my friend. I call her my best friend. She's my friend. I call her my best friend. She's my friend. I call her my best friend.
Yeah, but honestly, like my dad, usually I feel more comfortable off the cuff. But after Rory done me a solid at my wedding, I thought, you know, it's only right I step up and put some effort in for once. Draft a little saying cut. I mean, I drafted a little saying. But yeah, there was a couple of versions, but I feel like everyone's halfway there by now already, yeah? And it was only a minute ago, when we was all dancing earlier, I looked at my bottle of beer and someone pointed out it was a 0% beer. So I don't know, listen, all I'm saying, people have been passing me beers tonight, so I don't know who thought it was funny to be passing me a 0% beer, or whether they was trying to do Rory a favour by passing me that 0% beer. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not the greatest at reading off, but I'm going to read from the phone. So bear with me, because I'd actually left school, believe it or not, with no GCSEs. I mean, I only learned to tell the time when I was about, 17? Well, I still can't tell the time, I'm late for everything. All right, as most of you know...
But you knew when to come to work.
I'm still shocked you even got an invite, Brian. And if you don't know, this geezer used to be mine and Rory's boss. And now he wants to be my mate, but when he was my boss, he was like, I don't want to give him that disciplinary, that level 1 disciplinary, or the level 2 disciplinary, or the level 3. He was nowhere to be seen, Brian. So you quiet down, son. You stay over there, and you get your hand down as well. Hey, you're lucky. I went easy on your boy. Anyway, let's go. Oh, as most of you know, the country's going through some tough times at the moment. With the wars abroad, and old Keir Starmer's attack on free speech and the old cancel culture woke mob. And the reason I bring this up is 4 weeks ago I get this call from Rory telling me that what I can and what I can't say, effectively cancelling this and censoring this speech before I even begin to draft the thing. So if this speech is shit, we know who to blame. As some of you may know, I'm Joe, Rory's younger brother. And as he said in his best man speech at my wedding, he was the better looking, the more talented, and a load of other lies and all this propaganda and bullshit. All I'm saying is, Rory, all I'm saying on the matter is, and don't get me wrong, the song just done was unreal, and you got talent, boy. You got it. All I'm saying is the numbers don't lie, son. And my debut album is pushing on 1 million streams. And that's for looks. Well, let's just say you done yourself a favour tying that knot rather quick. It was a little bit late, because if we left any bit longer with that receding hairline, you'd be looking like Bobby Charlton. You know what I'm saying, my old son? And as some of you know, you might know, I don't know, some of you may know, me and my wife, my beautiful wife, Martina, we got married a couple of, what was it, September? Can't remember the date, never going to remember it. I was getting tattooed on the arm, but we get there one day. Anyway, she asked me to say the old beautiful thing anyway. There we go, people. And Rory delivered, arguably, one of the best man speeches of all time. It was something to behold. He'd done an amazing job, but there was a few inconsistencies within the story. Again, more lies, more propaganda, believe it or not, people. Again. And as the story goes on, you realise about Rory, he can often tell a good old yarn, that boy. And as I watched it back the other night, actually, it's a truth of it. I watched it back the other night for a little bit of inspiration. There's a few things weren't really adding up. The math, let's just say, wasn't mathing. First and foremost, I don't appreciate him referring to my friends as the finest degenerate Bishop's Holt School had to offer. Even though it's true. So sit down. Especially... Hold on, I might be deleting stuff here. Especially when I look around this room and I don't see any of his old school friends here. I mean, where's Jed, Rory? Where's Jimmy D? Where's Stugel the Bugle? Yeah? But to be fair, us boys don't mind. We've accepted him. He's one of the gang. And to be honest with you boys have had it right off getting the invite to this wedding with the old free bar, yeah? And listen, don't do the old thing we used to do, going to the bar and asking for a double and they said no doubles and ordering 2 singles and tipping one into the other, which I invented, obviously. And the side swiping, we don't need to side swipe tonight, boys, it's free. Like, just letting you know, Jake, the bar's actually free. We don't need to lick anyone's chick tonight. Anyways, you're more than welcome to join the crew, Rory. And you're not the only big brother in this room who knocks about with his little brother's mates. Ain't that right, Uncle Dave? Yeah. Ain't that right, Uncle Dave? All right? Listen, we was labelled the worst lot in the school, but now everyone wants to hang around with us, and I'm proud of all my boys because they've all been successful, every single one of them. Everyone thought we was going to amount to nothing. We got about 1 GCSE between us, but we all managed to smash it in life, so pick yourselves up. And just get yourself off early because I ain't putting up with your shit tonight. Right. You see, growing up, Rory didn't like me much. And if I'm honest, I don't blame the geezer. It all started a long time, well before the old secondary school. We grew up in a little area in West London called Hindon, down a road called Long Lane. And around 1995, there was a little mob that used to run that road. We confined of little crimes, the odd bamboo robbery of our neighbour Roger's shed, robbing the local Safeway, setting fire to Annie Franklin's dad's car, holding up his nan with my dad's rifle, which probably is a story for another time. You see, the average Saturday night for us involved the neighbours all getting together with our mums and dads, getting smashed, while us kids went down the off-licence, got 6 cans of the finest shandy bass, robbed a few fags off the olders, waited for topless darts to come on, and we was a naughty little outfit, they called us the Poo Gang. None of you know this, it's a true story. We was called the Poo Gang. We was a bit of an outfit down the old Long Lane. People were scared to come down that little lay-by back in the day. Which again, funnily enough, was made up of my friends. I mean, we're starting to see a little plan here, Rory. I'm just saying, son. But most of the times, if I'm honest with you, Rory used to run the Poo Gang. But the average day involved, they used to like run away from me, set up traps, digging holes, sticks over the tops, sometimes dog shit, and they used to lead me to them, and I used to fall down the old hole. It wasn't nice, but you know, I deserved it at times, and I was a bit of an arsehole myself. I mean, it wasn't the first time everyone's run away from me in the gang, you know. Rory was always a bright, musical kid. He mastered the piano from a very young age. I usually sit back doing what I usually done at about 14 years old, like chewing crayons and dribbling down myself. Whereas he would entertain my parents with some classic piano classics like The Entertainer and so forth. It wasn't just the music he excelled in. He's also thought himself a bit of an actor, playing lead roles in the Oak Farm Assemblies as Oliver Twist and other major lead roles. He always used to enjoy dressing up in girls' clothes with the neighbours. And there was also a time he used to bleach the tips of his hair and wore a couple of diamond earrings, which I thought was just that experimental stage some boys go through. Obviously, I didn't. But then I just found out he planned the whole wedding. So I'm thinking, hold up, we've got a wedding planner as well as a... All I'm saying, you know where I'm getting at here. But listen, I'm glad to see that he's married. That's all I think Dad is quite glad to see that he's married as well. See, Rory had this crafty, almost sly way about him. He would cause a lot of the shit, a lot of the stuff, but then he'd hide away and leave me to get the blame. He used to use my IQ against me. And then 1999 come around, real quick. And it was my time to slip on his handy-down uniform, and make my debut at Bishop's Old School. And what a breeze that fucking was. He had already cemented his place in the school as a bit of a face. So when I turned up, I took absolute liberties. And as Rory used to hang around with some of the naughtiest geezers in the borough, not just the school, the finest degenerates, so much so, he hasn't invited one single one to his wedding. And I don't blame him. Rory did like the fact most of his pals liked me and being around as he was growing up. I was 3 years younger and I was doing everything he was doing a lot earlier, which pissed him off. And my mum would never let me forget about it because he would be coming in, allowed to come in at like 10. I'd be rolling in at about 1 a.m. You know what I mean? It's like, Rory, where you been? I'd walk in there and be like, just glad I've been out of the house for long enough so they didn't have to deal with me. Anyway, listen, there's loads of stories I could sit and tell you. Like the time he was driving that stolen motor over Coney Green and jumped out a moving car to feed the police, which resulted in some poor girl's leg getting run over. Oh, and that time he got nicked. And that time when he was 15, 16 and got nicked for some undisclosed substance. But my parents choose to forget about that because he was the number one son. But I'm just here to remind you all. But all jokes aside, the real important story today is the one I'm about to tell you. And Rory touched on it earlier, but I don't think you realise So that was all right. The rest of it is I'm going to freestyle because that'd be speech 2. I couldn't do that one. Anyway, so the real story I want to tell you, the main story is how these two guys met. And I know we touched on it earlier, but about 2014, I think it was, I was on this job. I was in between jobs at the time, and I was a bit of a, I ain't going to lie, it's a bit of a dodgy number I was running at the time. So I was working for Heathrow Airport, and I was working for like an electrical company. And the governor was a bit of a crafty geezer himself. No, not you, Brian. I said crafty, not an arsehole. I said crafty here. Anyway, so I was running a bit of scrap metal up the M25 late at night, just doing a bit of extra cash on the side because times were hard. And we was working in this little office, and me and this fella from actually, what couple of you guys know him, but we won't bring him up anyway. I was carrying a couple of boxes into this office, and we got in this lift, and Jess is there with another friend who she works in the office. And we were having a little bit of banter. The fellow was there having a bit of banter. Anyway, we see her the odd maybe 2 or 3 times, was it, Jess? But enough to know to catch each other. We cracked a few jokes, so we recognised each other. And like you say, then we went to a festival the same year. And the festival, for people that don't know, it's got, I don't know, maybe 100,000 people there, I don't know, roughly. So you've got to remember, 100,000 people pitched up tents. So they're all sitting around, and like you say, Jess come up, walked over, can I borrow your pump? And the first thing she said, I said, I know you. She goes, oh my God, you're the guy that carried the box. I was like, well, I thought you was going to say, yeah, he's that good-looking chap, and he was up in the lift. But yeah, just the guy that carried the box, apparently. But all I can say, I mean, tell me now, if that wasn't meant to be, we're on an island over in Isle of Wight. We've been in a campsite, and Jess happened to pitch up opposite us. I see her about 3 months prior, a half dozen times. They come over and listen. All I'm saying as well, Rory at the time, we had this. He had a pic where we dressed up one night, and he was dressed as a giant penis. Right? Look, listen, it's the truth. It was a huge giant penis costume with balls and everything, and I'm pretty sure my mum sewed on the pubes on it. She did. So this is sort of thing that Terry and Steve don't know about. So your precious daughter, who we love to pieces, she met a bloke who clearly was a bit of a dodgy geezer in some lift, smuggling scrap metal out of a building to take it to some place to weigh it in. So already she should have had alarm bells there. But not only that, she meets this fella who's dressed like a giant cock. And I'm not talking about it's just like a giant prick, and I'm not talking about his usual clopper either. I'm talking about the costume he had on. Anyway, we ended up sharing the best weekend ever, one of the best festivals ever. Her and her mate Josie stayed with us for the whole time. We made music, we sung, we drunk, we done everything we could do. It was amazing weekend, and you could tell they was falling in love over the base of the 4 or 5 days we was there. They were falling in love in front of everyone's eyes, and at the time my brother really needed that as well. they come together at the right time. They found love. So listen, like at the start, me and Jess had a little ups and downs, but we've now come together as business partners. We started a crazy business that we weren't expecting. It's expired out of control. She puts in so much hard fucking work, it's unbelievable. I want to thank Steve as well for making the dream come true. He's done so much for us, and you won't believe like what we're creating at the moment. We don't really talk about it to everyone, but it's a crazy thing what we're doing. I'm just proud of us. We're managing to get everyone we love and care about, out from work and beyond, underneath people that are arseholes, like bosses that no one likes to turn up to work. We're hopefully about 6, maybe 3 months away from getting Rory over to work for us as well. And then we're going to be a full family unit. I just want to say, I'm my brother. I'm blessed, and I'm the luckiest brother to be alive to have a brother like my brother Rory. He's the best person I've ever met in my life. But I don't just say that. He's everything and more I could ever imagine. And I just want to say, like, I'm so happy for you too, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I love you to pieces. That's it.
Younger than me and has spent the last 20 years looking after me. She is fucking brilliant, and she has more integrity than anyone I've ever met, apart from probably Mum.
Good save.
Apart from probably Mum. And Rory is the guy that every brother wants his sister to meet. He's a pleasure. I know he will never, ever let her or us down. And they are a wonderful couple. I'm going to fuck off now and let Jess say her thing. Jessica! Jessica Moran, step up to the plate.
I'd love to do a speech for you all, but I don't know where it is. So just wait 1 minute. I also was meant to have a table, but the table's fucked off. So there we go. Here we are. So you're going to have to deal with my pages, I'm afraid. Anyway, hello.
Come on, Jess.
There were many people wondering if I was going to do a speech today. And to be quite honest, of course I bloody am. I love a good chinwag, and my mum has always taught me to say my piece. And I think today is the perfect day for just that. Yeah. So here I am. I also have to try and get through this without crying and without swearing, and I've already failed miserably. So we'll see how we go, because I would like to stop swearing as much. And, oh, look, isn't she fabulous? That's Catherine. She's amazing. Thank you, Catherine. Right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right, there we go.
Catherine, get with you.
So today's really special, not just because I get to marry the love of my life, but because we get to spend it all with you. You have all been a huge part of mine and Rory's life in some way, shape or form, and that doesn't get taken for granted. You have shaped us, you have been on experiences with us, you've been our friends, you've been our family, soul family, the lot. And we are so grateful that you've all been taking the time to be with us today and celebrate our love and the love that we have for all of you. So thank you so much for being here. See, double amazing. Now I've got a drink. This is great. Now, when it comes to love, there are a few people that couldn't be here today physically, but they are very much with us spiritually. There are two people in particular that I really wanted to mention today because they are a huge reason as to why Rory and I are together. So my granddad, Joe Roberts, he passed when I was 22. And I'm a really strong believer that those that we love never truly leave us. They're always with us in our hearts and by our side. And over the years, I have spoken to him many times. And one of those times was when I'd had enough of men, quite frankly. And I just sat there and I prayed to my granddad and I just said to him, please, could you bring me the most loveliest man? And I knew he wouldn't bring me anyone less than perfect. And lo and behold, 3 months later, Rory entered my life on the middle of a field in a festival involving a foot pump. Now, the foot pump, I'm good. As you know, my Auntie Deb, she passed recently. And the funny thing is that the wonderful, eccentric, amazing woman that she was an expert camper, and I really wasn't. So I took a trip up to Leeds, knowing that she would kit me right out. I'm talking tents, I'm talking sleeping bags, and I'm talking a portable toilet. But there we go. And however, she did forget to give me the foot pump. So she very beautifully brought Rory and I together when she was here with us physically. So there I was in the middle of a field, not knowing what the hell to do, because I don't camp, and my bed was flat on the floor. And I came across Rory and the boys, and Rory did come to the rescue. And yes, he looked like a complete arse trying to get it out the tent. Didn't you, babe? It's all right, it's all right. It was all like, oh, you know when you like, they're fumbling along and you're thinking, oh, right, okay, I see. But yeah, I had to mention my granddad and my auntie today because they brought us together in the most beautiful way. And I'm eternally grateful for that. So that's that. Thank you to them. Can we just do a toast to them? Thank you. My granddad, Joe Roberts, and my auntie, Deb Tetley. Right. So the next wonderful lady that I need to mention is my grandma, Molly Roberts. She is very much with us, as I know Dad has mentioned, but she couldn't be with us physically today. And the reason why I mention her is because I am the woman I am because of her. We're fearless and we're sassy. And bless my mum, she's been between the two of us for 34 years. But you've coped, haven't you, Mum? Yes, and she's also been between all our tears as well. So yeah, I just wanted to mention my wonderful grandma as well. Now, talking of fearless and sassy, it is true, I did turn into Bridezilla, okay? I was defeated by a bloody wedding, and it wasn't good. And this actually came out within the first minute of my first ever conversation with Catherine. She hadn't even met me. And I was screaming down the phone to her, crying my eyes out, because it was to do with the dogs. So she had a double whammy of Bridezilla and ultimate dog mum. And we all know that is the most horrendous mix. But I wanted to mention that because she dealt with me so beautifully, so professionally, and she has really helped us bring today together. So I really have to say a huge thank you to Catherine and the team for hosting us, for making sure everyone's got drinks, because that's really important, and all the food, everything. So Catherine, Freya, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. You have honestly been just insane. I mean, the table and the drink is here. Come on, this is proof. And additional to that is the catering team, Jerry and the chefs, those behind the bar, like they're making today what it is. So I just really want to note to them how thankful I am. Hey, what? Well, you can toast as much as you want, Dad. Keep drinking. And then I obviously have to give a massive shout out to that gospel choir, because bloody hell, that was amazing. I know. It's a true dream for me. I really wanted a gospel choir since the moment that Rory and I were going to get married. So yeah, just incredible. They made it exactly what I wanted it to be. So thank you. Now, additional to that is the most wonderful lady that is Ingrid. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for what you created today. Thank you. It's amazing. I am so blown away. Your magic, your love, your beauty, everything. You brought it all. And I am just so grateful for your time, your presence, your beauty, just everything. So thank you for creating what you did today. I honestly am so grateful. Rory and I are, thank you. Just thank you so much. Now, I don't normally look like this. I'm usually in tracksuit bottoms, mismatched clothes, greasy hair, all scraped back, no makeup, the works. So I have 3 amazing ladies to thank today. That is India, who did my makeup. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have no clue about makeup whatsoever, so I was completely at a loss. But India just was so patient and so kind and just so beautiful throughout the whole process. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And then my 2 lovely girls in my lives, 2 of my soul sisters, Stevie, Tallulah. You've been incredible to me, and you've sorted me out. You've got me through my meltdowns. You've sorted out my dress, and you've sorted out my hair. Love you all so much. Thank you so much for helping me today and making me feel just really good about myself. So thank you. Love you all so much. Thank you. I have to now mention my beautiful nieces, Layla, Evie Woo, your absolute joys. I can't stop. Layla, watching you grow over the years has been stunning. You've grown into the most wonderful lady. Evie Woo, you've brought so much happiness and beauty into our lives, all the laughter. So thank you so much, girls. And then the reason these 2 girls are so wonderful are because of Joe and Martina. They're amazing mum and dad, and I am so grateful to have them both, your wonderful brother and sister-in-law. And I really look forward to our future as a family together. So thank you. Can I just ask where Kath is? Where's Kathy? Oh. Okay. Are we filming this? Okay. Fine.
Just having a breather.
No worries. Forgot I didn't mention it. Owen and Kate. Owen, he paved the way for me in life, I must say. He has been the role model of what not to do in this life. So thank you so much. Mum and Dad have been extra lenient with me because I could never do worse than Owen, which is great. No. In all seriousness, you are an incredible brother. I'm so lucky to have you. You have also made today happen, and I'm so grateful for everything that you've done. So thank you, and I really love you as a brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Kate. Yes, you. I know. Sorry, I shouldn't do that, should I? You've been a beautiful addition to our lives. You have been so amazing, and I'm just so grateful that we've got you, and you look after Owen so beautifully, and I don't worry about him half as much with you by his side. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's true. It's true, whether you like it or not. And then we've got Kathy and John. Now, Kathy and John, some of you may not know this, but they're actually TikTok famous. They've got 500,000 views on TikTok. And the reason is because they are our real life Pamela and Mick in the form of Kafala and John. But the reason why I bring this up is because they honestly, it really does depict just why I love them so much. And that is because they are hilarious. They're always up for a giggle. And we always have so much fun together. Our trips to Exeter are some of my favourite times ever. Going to the beach, drinking coffee with our dogs. I love them. And not only that, but whenever I go to Exeter, there's always a dad joke waiting for me. So, I love it. And I also just wanted to say today is thank you for bringing the love of my life into this world and raising him to be the man he is today. I don't take for granted what you and Kath have done in bringing up Rory. I know he is who he is because of you both.
I've got a dad joke if you want.
I told you. He's telling you off now. But I love all the stories that Rory tells about Long Lane and New Milton. And I just love being your daughter-in-law. And I'm really happy to be a part of the family and be another Mrs. Moran in the world. Thank you. I'm nearly there, guys. I'm nearly there. Mama T, I'm regularly told how alike I am to you. Oh. No, I'm about to say it's the biggest compliment I could ever get because you are the most amazing mum. And you are an incredible woman, and I'm extremely lucky to have you as my mum. So thank you for everything. Yeah, she does deserve a round of applause. Now, with that, it does make Rory and Mum quite the duo. They are actually the reason why today's happened. Mum and Rory have been an amazing team. Lots of planning, lots of plotting. And they would go and make meetings together. And I'd have to ask if I was invited. And I would have to regularly remind them that this wedding doesn't happen without the bride. But there we go. I'm here. They've invited me, so we're all good. But with that, my mum really wanted me to just say the biggest thank you to Rory for arranging the most insane wedding. You have just been unreal in what you've pulled together. I know we're in a very unusual position in the fact that Rory actually put this wedding together and I was the yes-no person because I just didn't have the capacity. So thank you for all your work, Rory. You've been amazing. And now to my daddy T. Oh, don't you worry, you're fine. You've always been able to rescue me. You've always supported me, looked after me in the most turbulent times of my life. And you have been a force of stability, always. And I really appreciate that from you. I've always been able to go to you. And I know I wasn't what you were expected at all. Bless your heart. As you know, when Mum was pregnant with me, they were told that they were having a boy. I was meant to be called Elliot Tetley. They finally got round to calling me Jessica Rhiannon Olivia Tetley. Yes, I have many names because they couldn't decide which one. My mum always tells me that it took him 5 weeks to get over it. But if you ask me, think he's still not quite over it. And that was reaffirmed when the wedding bill came in. But I just wanted to say, Mum and Dad, you're not just my parents, you're my best mates. And you have been incredible to me in this life. And I'm so grateful for everything that you've done for both Rory and I, Owen and Kate, all of us. So thank you. And I'm very lucky to have you. So thank you so much. And lastly, to my man. Sorry, I'm struggling. You've been in my heart and by my side for over 10 years now. After that speech and the song, I think you all know why I'm with him. But we've been from muddy fields on the Isle of Wight to our cosy cottage. We've been through it all. We've stood by each other every step of the way, through the messy and not so great times to the amazing times. I've experienced some dark times and spaces during our time together. When I couldn't see the light, your love has always pulled me through to this day and beyond. You've taught me to love not just you and others, but myself too. You've brought music into my life, always bringing me back to my voice, giving me the courage and space to grow, always supporting me and being my #1 fan. Thank you for always looking after me, for being the strength to my weakness, the organisation to my chaos, and the calm to my storm. I love the love and life we have created together with our fur babies in our little cottage. I wanted to end today with something that came to me recently in the most beautiful ceremony held by my gorgeous friend China. The gift of life is the gift of love. Love is what makes the world go round and is the true currency of the universe. This comes in many forms, whether it's the passion and love we have for our career and our purpose, the love of nature and this beautiful earth plane that we all get to live on, the love of our family, who we do it all for, the love of our friends, who are our soul family, who we choose in this life to experience the good and bad times with, the love for ourselves, the compassion we deserve when life gets tough, the love of our animals who teach us unconditional love and hold no judgment. And then there's our chosen love, our soulmate, the one we choose to do life with. I'm grateful I found you, and I chose you in this life and in our lives to come. I hope I'll always find you. Love you, babe. You are the dream I dreamt of before I met you. I'm done. I need a drink and a good boogie.
Right, mate.